Hey guys, it's been a while. It's June 23rd. We're doing a session today with Europe Express. I took a break for like a week or two, I think, with all the sessions. One of the reason is my hair got way out of control, so I really needed a haircut. So now that that's out of the way, we're ready to start and do a few sessions. We're gonna wait for a few people to come online while I present our guest for today. We have Lisa from Europe Express.
Hello.
Hey, Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it still say I'm. If I'll put your name, it still says Hamilton. So
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
it's okay. I can keep it.
You can switch over.
Okay. How have you been doing?
I've been doing great. I've been doing great. Yeah. Self-isolating and, it's not so bad when you live in Florida and you've got some outdoor space you can go. And so, yeah, everything's been doing great.
Nice. So I've known Lisa for a while, for a few years now, from different companies, different hats, and you're relatively new with Europe Express. Well, there've been quite a few months by now, but I think you're still feeling new. When did you start
Yes.
with the company?
Yes. I'm thrilled that we were able to start at least talking about selling again, which is nice. I just started there in February when the whole COVID thing started to sort of take shape into what things have become. But I'm really glad to be at this new company, and it's a really interesting product. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Right. I see we have some people on the line. We have Sydney, we have Veronica. Hey, Susan. Um, yeah, we've been doing a lot of these sessions. We'll say mid March, end of March, into April, May, and then I personally needed a break a little bit. I've it's rough. You're dealing with a lot of all of these things and cancellations. And then you need to pick up. You need to go back and get back to work. So you said that you guys you're starting to get some requests. What's going on with Europe Express?
Really, with the booking situation, it's a lot of rebookings, which is great news. About half of our customers that had bookings decided to do the future travel credit, which is awesome. And then the other half canceled and got their refunds, but hopefully we still have future customers there because we took good care of them. And from the sales perspective, we've just been staying in the ears of the agents. The sales team is always in the face of the agents in the face, but now it's just phone calls and Zoom meetings and things like that. But doing what we can to make sure that everybody knows that our partnership is still really strong and that we're there for you, advocating for you, and if you need anything, our sales team has been really good at trying to fix issues. So it's been good.
Okay. We have some questions that we'll get to them later, but people are really interested in knowing in general about Europe. Can we still can Americans go? Are there any restrictions? Is in general, are there some that are more open than others?
Well, from what we did was we actually canceled all of our trips through July 15th, and we're sort of keeping our eye on it. And as we've slowly unveiled these further away dates that we were doing travel, we've been staying in touch with all of the agents that have bookings that are going to see if they wanted to move them or what their clients were looking forward to doing. But right now, the EU is having discussions to make things easier on the traveler, to sort of have a more uniform guidelines and requirements as far as social distancing and wearing masks and the different kind of safety protocols. So when they do open back up to the US, we'll have a good idea of, what's it going to be like, what's it going to look like. In Italy right now, they just opened up some of the landmark tourist attractions, like in the Vatican, for example. You can go, but you need an appointment, and they only allow in groups of 10 at a time, and you're only able to be in there for 15 minutes at a time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it is short, but I guess if you think of it, if you can actually get there, there's not going to be a lot of people. It is. I've heard there's like tourism into like Bologna and Milan, because that's kind of like where Corona started in Europe, like the big thing. So people want to see. It's like trips after the war, because it was pretty hard over there.
Right.
But right now you said up to July 15th, there are no trips. People are not actually.
From Europe Express. That's the position that we took. But now I've been educating myself on certain different destinations in Europe that I'm not as familiar with. And in all of them, at the very beginning, in their destination management company webinars that I've been watching, and they'll all tell you what it's like right now. So I went to a Portugal webinar at the beginning of June, and they said, oh, you can come, but you need to quarantine for 14 days. So that's not really designed with the American traveler in mind.
Right. So, or anyone. I mean, yeah, staying for 14, and it has to be a really long trip.
Right.
And what is the current policy with Europe Express? If I were to book my clients now, let's say they are ready to go September, what would be the policy in terms of cancellation changes?
We've really had an approach of, as we get closer to the travel dates, we'll make that decision, or we'll give you the options. For example, when we were in May and we were approaching June, and we knew we weren't going to be able to travel in June, the sales team started making phone calls to the end of June travelers, while the reservations team called the beginning of June travelers and said, would your clients prefer to cancel and travel at another time, or cancel and get a full refund right now? We did have a $150 cancellation fee on some of the dates that we had, and but most people took the future travel credit, and that worked out really well for them as well. And we offered a discount, a booking incentive, and things like that to move the travel, and that's been helpful. But for September, we just don't have a policy quite yet, but we are absorbing some of our change policies and things like that for the times where it's impossible to travel.
So is it like, really, does it depend on the actual property that they're going to, or the actual tour, or there like brand fees in addition to?
So that was one of the key learnings when I first came here, is that this isn't just like canceling a hotel room. It's not just canceling a cruise cabin. There are so many different types of parts in a custom made vacation like Europe Express does, and it depends on the supplier. So for example, the rail service companies had very strict policies on giving back refunds, and they use paper tickets in many cases still. So we had to receive the paper tickets back from the customers to send it back to the Eurail, and then they would have to process their refund, which all takes a significant amount of time. Now, the different hotel properties and the transfer companies that we use, they all went to reduced employee levels as well. So their call volumes went up, and some of them were just government mandated shutdowns, and we just couldn't get in touch with them for a short period of time. So that refund process took a lot of time, and the cancellation policies weren't uniform at that time at all. You know, the hotels were just closed, and they couldn't answer us on changing their policies. This is just such an unprecedented event, you know?
Yeah. So maybe something that we haven't said at the beginning, maybe I should have asked, you guys do either have a customer service where I can call and request custom FIT hotel tours, transfers, flights, rail, pretty much everything, or you also have an online booking where I can pretty much do the same thing on my own if I have the knowledge, right?
Correct. Yeah, so our online booking engine is available, and if you call our contact center, they would have for you also more knowledgeable information to share based on experience as well. So that's always a nice thing. And one of the things that the reservations team was telling me when I spend time with them is that it's really helpful for them if, as an agent, you start with our europeexpress.com website and build as much as you know. So if you know that they want to leave from whatever city they live in and they want to do, these main things, you can start the shell of that booking, and then you'll have a booking number to reference when they call you, or you call in to the call center to build more upon it.
Okay.
And these bookings, because they're customized, we actually have a count on how many times that a booking's been modified, but don't feel as though it's above average if you're making, 20 different changes on a booking, because as it is custom, all these things can be changed, which is a nice thing, but we deal with all the suppliers so that the travel advisors don't have to.
Okay. Do you also offer insurance at this time?
We sell insurance through Allianz, and that's, I believe, our only non-commissionable that we have. And I know there's plenty of other insurance companies that also offer commission, and that CFAR, cancel for any reason insurance. Allianz has a product for that as well. We always recommend
So
insurance.
if we purchase insurance through Europe Express, it's not commissionable to us?
No, for some reason, our contract with Allianz, it's a non-commissionable item, but everything else that we have is completely commissionable. One of the neat things about Europe Express is that there's no minimum purchase. So if you have a client that's doing a European cruise and perhaps they want to have a private transfer from the airport to the port, we can do that little of a booking, that small of a booking. The only thing that we won't do is sell air by itself. There's contract restrictions. So no air by itself, but everything else, there's no minimum to do. So for those of you that are booking European cruises, Europe Express is an excellent option rather than having to think that you have to reach out to a supplier that's local in Europe to do that. Let us do that for you.
Yeah. I see a comment, Tony, saying that the online booking system can only go so far before you have to go into with the rep. I actually, I mean, I played with it. I played with the online system. I think you can do up to like 4 or 5 different destinations. You get a really nice itinerary, which is like white label. Yeah, you really need to know the product. You need to know everything. But I think of it like, I mean, like Vax or something. You can create a really fast itinerary and it looks gorgeous to send to a client just as a start. Something to, okay, here is what I came up with. Look at the options, and then we can always go up and down in terms of a higher like 5-star instead of the 4-star, maybe do a private tour or go the other way around. And I found the system to be quite easy to work with. And then ultimately, I think when you get the invoice, it also breaks down for you as the agent, so you know how much each item costs. So I think that's an advantage to the system.
Correct. And additionally, you can add your own agent markup. So if you want to add a markup for your service, because it is a customized service, and you shouldn't feel bad if you wanted to mark it up for the extra time you're spending on it. But we can even hide that under a line item that says custom vacation, and that's your markup there. So that's, and then your own invoice that has your commission is separate from the guest invoice that doesn't show any of the commission on there.
Is there a reduction if I mark up? Is there?
We take 10% of the markup.
10% of what we mark up. Okay. Now I've been hearing. I mean, there are good things that we're talking about with Europe Express, but I am seeing some people not happy with $150 per person cancellation, even if there's no air involved. Is there a chance, or is there a way that you guys can make agents feel a little more comfortable? Because right now it's if you book for August or September and you know that you have $150 cancellation per person, where a lot of other suppliers and cruise lines and hotels, everyone, Expedia, everyone is giving the assurance, don't worry, you can book, we're not going to charge you any fees. Do you know if there's any thoughts of trying to ease up a little bit on the cancellation fees?
For September, not that I know of. There's not been a published policy, but I would definitely recommend you reach out to your business development manager, whoever that is, in your territory. And as a matter of fact, do you want me to show that map of who that is while we're talking, Roy?
Sure.
Okay, and let me get to that section of my screen. It's a part of my, right here.
All right, let me share this. Where is this? Here you go. Okay. So yeah, they can see your screen.
Okay, great. So we just made an adjustment to our sales team and had to move a couple of folks around, like our Texas business development manager, Jenny. She came to us with a ton of experience from our reservation center. And right now we need her a little bit more over in the reservations team than on the sales side. So I'm going to take over the Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, all of those different states, and New York and New Jersey. My primary role, though, is to work with the host agencies from a headquarter level, and that's pretty much national. But so if you need anything, I'm a good person to reach out to. But I can always, if I'm not your business development manager, I can definitely put you in touch with yours.
Okay.
So this is in regards to where you live. This isn't in regards to where your agency's headquarters is.
Okay, so local. Okay. So yeah, New York, New Jersey. So you're mine either way.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to working with you again.
Okay. Let's get back and hide this and go back again. Okay. So I had a question about groups. How do you guys deal with groups, or can we create an itinerary for a group or a proposal? How does that work?
You can. So on the Europe Express website, there's two different request a quote forms. One is for FIT and one is for group. Our groups are minimum 10 adults. So that's not a huge group, but something you want to keep in mind too is that groups may have changed a little bit on site just with social distancing. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Like right now, if we're only allowed to be in groups of 10 people, then that cooking class that was supposed to be for 12 needs to be reduced. So that's just a little something to keep in mind there.
Okay. Well, again, I assume people are not going tomorrow, so it's
Yeah.
And things change. I've seen in other countries where they now even allow up to 250 people. It might change again in a few weeks or months, or change the other way around. It's that's why I've mentioned the fees, because it's just things are really uncertain. You don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right. You're absolutely right. So definitely reach out to your business development manager about any of these that are coming up. If you need some help, we can help.
Veronica, you asked, do you have itineraries already made up to present to our clients? It's just, well, you can create a sample. I don't know if there are sample itineraries?
Yeah, we actually have we have a whole system. I'm so glad she asked. We have a whole group of sample itineraries, and what happens a lot of times is people have an idea. They know they want to go to this fabulous place, but they don't know much about the tourism and the sightseeing and the things that you should know. But we have those prepackaged for you. And it's great for marketing purposes too. If you're doing a consumer event and you want to market Europe, you can say, oh, I can create a package that's just like this, but custom to whatever you like.
Okay, good question. I didn't know. I thought, because I know how easy it is to create an itinerary. I have to say that sometimes your prices are a little high than what I would like, but the system is really easy, and then again, it creates a really beautiful itinerary to present to a client. So good to know. Let's see. What is? Do you know right now in terms of waiting time, like for the call center, or what's the turnaround time to get a response back for changes or bookings?
Our turnaround time is typically between 24 and 48 hours. And then especially if we have a custom service request. So if there is something that your customer is requesting specifically and it's not exactly in the system, we create a custom service request and we take it to our DMC that's in Barcelona, and then they make the magic happen, but they're on a different time zone than us, so sometimes it takes a little bit of extra time to do that. But that we have the ability to make these custom requests is really nice. Our call center, I don't believe has been as overwhelmed as it was. I believe that they've gotten sort of ahead of a lot of the mess that's been, been created due to the whole coronavirus. But the neat thing about Europe Express is that if you find that you have a reservation specialist that you work really well with, you're welcome to create that relationship with them, and you'll have somebody specifically to reach out to, which is nice. And the people there are so knowledgeable. So it's all a really great resource for you all to use.
Okay. Don't think I see any other questions right now. Do you want to do some of the presentation? Do you want to go over?
I could definitely show you some of this. I've been sort of bouncing around what the presentation, the scripted presentation would be, but one of the things that Europe Express wanted me to start talking about is our Christmas markets, which is really interesting. There's a lot to see. Are you sharing my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. There it is. So what to be prepared for, winter destinations, how to get started, and resources. This is a whole scripted type of presentation, but I think we touched on a lot of it. But this is sort of what we can do for you. We are an exclusively used service to travel advisors. We are reservation experts. We have a groups team that's great, and all of our products are handpicked. One of the neat things about having our destination management company in Barcelona is that if your customers come up with a hiccup of any kind, they have somebody on our team to reach out to in their time zone, so that you're not getting phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning. So these are the different services that we offer all together. We do offer air, hotels, sightseeing, transfers, car rentals, rail, and insurance. And definitely keep us in mind for your pre and post cruise experience as well, because we can do it all for you and you don't have to guess around. So Germany is a fabulous place to visit any time of the year, but in the Christmas season, it's just magical with the Alps, and there's skiing available, and really beautiful destinations to see here. And in Munich, all of the castles, they just light up in the snow.
So I can find a pre-made itinerary for Germany that I can present to my clients, and then we can later on custom adjust it to what my client wants to do, right?
Absolutely. Do you want me to show you a little bit of the site?
Let's continue. If people want to see it, yes, they can. Someone is asking, can you purchase ferry transfers for the Greek Isles?
Yes.
Okay. And does that come in paper document as well, or that's an e-ticket? Do you know?
I don't believe it's a paper document. I believe that it's actual traditional rail that requires that paper document, which I was surprised by, obviously, when I first learned that. But no, we do have the ferry tickets though, and we can handle all of that for you.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you want to show us one of the pre-made itineraries and what we can offer?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So that's just a share screen thing, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's see. I don't.
Right now it's still a black screen.
Yes, I'm looking. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Susan, we're still here. It's just we're waiting.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Share her screen. If you guys have any more questions for Lisa, let us know. Again, we're okay. Here it is.
There we go. Europe Express.
All right. So this is no, it's Google. Europe Express. Yeah.
Okay, so what I want everybody to know is when you log into Europe Express, when you do your profile the first time, is put in your own address, your own mailing address. Like I said, we have local representation all over the country, and it's based upon where you're located. That's how we assign the business development managers to your territory. So we have a couple of different resources here, but for FIT, there's submit a custom quote, suggested itineraries, and pre-built packages. And we have the same for groups. Which should I show, Roy? Would you like me to show FIT?
Yeah, FIT.
So these are some of our pre-built packages. And where are we going today?
What do we have there? Let's do Italy. Let's try Italy again. I think I saw, yeah.
Here we go. So Athens, Rome, and Venice. How about Rome, Florence, and a Tuscan villa? Let's see that one. So we'll explore now. And there's 2 different types of hotels here, see? And it gives you the links to see. Oh, wait. It gives you the links to see what the hotels are.
Okay.
So this one, here's all the photos for this one. And all the different amenities there.
And can you show us how does it look? Like, what do we send our clients?
So I hit print page.
Oh, so we just save it as a PDF and then we can.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not an itinerary like a day by day with tours or.
Yeah. I'm trying to. For some reason, my screen is stuck here. I'm usually pretty good at this, but I don't know why it's done that to me.
You offered to show us.
I did offer to show you. I thought, let's see. There we go. I'm back. I think I'm stuck for some reason. So I'll go back, and it should show a day by day with the different tours of what you can do. It's thinking.
Okay.
And we also have brochures and things like this that we can send off as well.
I mean, honestly, I've never used this, but I have created a really quick itinerary for a client. It does mean that you need to know a little bit about the country, but if you want to do like south, so you'll do Rome, and then like Naples, and then Amalfi Coast, and some of the like four locations. You can do the rail. You can do a rental car if they want it. You can do the hotels, the tours, and it's an easy. For some reason, it takes like half an hour or something, I think, to process the itinerary from when you start the process. But after that, it's ready, and you can send it out, and it looks pretty.
So this is suggested itineraries here. So this one is the best of Italy, and it's got all the highlights here. And you can click on the full itinerary. So 4 nights in Rome, 2 nights in Venice, breakfast, and day by day by day.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay, so you could send it to them, and if they want something like this, then you just either call in or you play along with the system to do it.
Right. Either way, whichever you prefer. We're happy to work with you either way. But yeah, it's got everything in here, and they may even have their own recommendation based on recent experience that they've had in our reservations team, or maybe there's something off the beaten trail that they hadn't thought of. It's always good to talk to somebody about that as well. But one of the key takeaways that I had from a panel I saw the other day was a lot of these destinations are going to have they're going to have more private opportunities, and that's one of the things that Europe Express is going to be focused on is really reiterating the fact that private touring, private different types of events on your vacation is really what the customer is going to be looking for right now, just because of the whole pandemic situation. So this is something that we will be able to do very, very well for you.
Okay. Cindy's asking, there's like a shared description link. She asked if it works for the hotel pages as well. Can you send it? I'm not sure if it's something that you send to your clients or you just print, save the PDF and send it out. I'm not sure what she means, but share description. Maybe it was for the other one.
Yes, let me go back to home, and let's see. FIT travel. Is it here? We were under, let's see, products. No.
I think it was under, maybe hotels. I think, I don't know, are you signed in? Maybe you signed out for some reason, or I don't know if it matters.
Here we go. So the pre-built packages, that's where we were before.
Okay.
And that's where I saw the links for the hotel. Right, so this becomes a link for the hotel, and you're going to want to create a PDF here.
Okay. So we just create a PDF and we send it because it says description on the top, but it's not like you could send them the link to this. You just need to, I guess. Okay, I see. Save it as PDF and just send it out to the client. Okay.
So it wouldn't be a link because it would be behind the password protected Europe Express. Yeah.
Okay. I hope we answered your question, Sydney. But yes, it's just I would just save it, and then you can either merge it into several files and then just send one, or maybe copy and paste and play with it a little bit. You like to save it as a link if possible, but if you can't have the link, happy to save it as a PDF. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's just it's easy. You save it as a PDF. I mean, you could see the link on the bottom, but it might ask you to log in. I don't know, but don't send it to your clients. Okay. So what is your what's the focus, Lisa, for Europe Express? Are there any specific countries you've mentioned? I saw Italy. We saw that we'll call it the traditional Western Europe. UK, France. We talked about Germany, Italy. What else? Are there any specific destination that you guys focus on?
Well, Italy is our most popular selling country. And behind that, Europe, behind that would be like France, Spain, Portugal is really hot right now. We actually have a webinar that we're hosting on the Greek Isles on Thursday, which is really going to be interesting. The Greek Isles have so much to offer.
Okay.
That's a great.
Send the link. We'll share it in the group if people. I mean, if it's still open, we'll let people join. Great. What else? I wanted to ask something. Do you do anything besides Europe? I know people say there's the name of the company, but we also do 1, 2, 3.
No, actually, Europe is really what we do. If there's a part of your itinerary that would be a custom service thing to add on to something that we've done for Europe, we could look into it for sure. But really, this is our bread and butter, is the European vacation.
Okay. And do you do Middle East a little bit? Do you do Russia? Do you do?
Not so much. Mostly just the EU countries. We focus on the 22 most popular EU countries.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. Let me see if we have any questions. Someone says that they are interested in the Greek Isle webinar. So yeah, when you get a chance, email it to me. We'll post it in the group. I'll let people register and hopefully join. If anyone has any questions regarding Europe or regarding Europe Express, or for Lisa, just let us know. Anything else that you want to talk about, Lisa, to mention to us?
Well, I think that right now education is one of the most important things. So really that's what we're all focusing on, sharing information, being attentive to our customers, who travel advisors are our customers, and really just learning as much as we can right now, because once the fog is lifted on all of this, I think we're all going to be super busy traveling and getting back together with our network and things like that.
I hope so. We'll be busy traveling.
Yes, I hope so. I'm already packed. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm ready.
Susan is saying, I think they meant Europe Express. They're very flexible with helping you and find just the right itinerary for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, let's say, you don't know the destination, you can call Europe Express, and their experts will help you create an itinerary. And within, depending on how long is the turnaround, when you send it to your client, you will look like an expert, because you'll get all of the information. It's pretty easy. The itinerary is really nice and really easy. I think you guys are using some of like the itinerary builders, and it can save you a lot of time, even if you do have that itinerary builder on your own. And yeah, people are saying that they've used you guys before. Do you offer any fam trips in general?
In general, we do, and obviously not right now. We're not, but if you sign up on EuropeExpress.com, you'll get the information when we send out fam trip information for sure. Right. Some of them are hosted by us. Some of them are hosted by the DMCs, which is nice.
Okay. If someone is not registered to work with Europe Express and they're on their own, they're not with a host, or maybe a very small host that is not signed up with you guys, what's the procedure? How do they sign up to sell Europe Express?
We just need you to have an IATA, a CLIA, or a TRU.
Okay. And then commission is based on the level of sales, I would assume?
Yes. So if you're working independently, if you're not with a consortia group or a host group, we have a standard commission schedule, but we pay commission on everything. Very few non-commissionable fees, which is nice. Yeah.
When you do groups, let's say with a contract, or are there any TCs? Do you offer? Is there like one free for every something, or it has to be a really large group?
It's one of those things that we could adjust depending on what you want. So obviously, travel agents and for years have been wanting to host or guide or attend. You can build that right into the rate if that's something that you want. You can always upcharge for different things, like if you wanted to buy them a gift or a souvenir or something like that, and you want to help fund that, you can always wrap that in too.
Okay.
So it really just depends on you and what you want to do.
So if you have 15 people and you are one of them and you are the tour leader, you just price up 14. So I mean, okay, yeah, I think that's traditional and land based. There's no real TCs. I mean, you do get one free for every something at hotels. It has to be a big group normally.
Okay.
Okay.
We can manage it that way too, if that's what you want, definitely. I mean, it's work, right? 250 people is not a vacation for you.
No, definitely not. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. Your offices are based where? Washington State or what?
Yes,
Where?
Washington State, yes.
Okay, and right now the offices are closed?
The office is closed, so they went virtual. They went home for now, but they're still answering the phones and things like that, so that's good. Still business as usual. We're just all virtual.
And is there a set date where they're supposed to open?
They're working on it slowly. So people, and they're not forcing anybody to do anything that makes them uncomfortable, which is nice. So some of these big conferences that haven't been canceled, they're kind of leaving it up to the comfort level of the employee. They don't want anybody to be uncomfortable. So, yeah. So, and it's been working out. It's been all right. Some people are dying to go back because they miss the social aspect of it, but,
Yeah, well, we have Zoom for that, or stuff like that. When it's a travel agent booking, is there any agent discounts, higher commissions, or how does that work?
So there is a discount, and I believe that you can just net it down, which is nice.
But the regular commission, you just pay it net, or is there any other perks, or you don't know?
Well, for the travel agent discount, it would be, I believe, a net fare. There's a fare code for it, but I'm not sure it's an exact amount off. But I know it's about net.
Okay, so it's just a regular rate. You just get the commission as
right.
As the perk. Okay. So people were asking, so I wanted to know. But if you're a travel agent and you're traveling, I would probably suggest reaching out maybe to the individual properties, or if you work with a specific tour operator a lot, you can try and reach out. Maybe they can reach out the property on your behalf, so you might be able to get something. But
that's true, and I think that might be what the whole thing with the fare code is, and why they didn't just say it was this much off. Maybe it's different depending on the supplier that's offering it. Rail and air and everything is so different.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay, I don't see any more questions specifically. Well, we are waiting. Hopefully that things pick up again.
Yes.
We're getting requests, but people are. I know they're requesting, but they're not ready to go. Not yet.
Really, which is why we just have to learn right now.
Yeah.
Learning phase.
Yeah. Get ready. People are anxious. They really want to go. They're just still seems like a little worried, but people do want to go. So yeah, I want to thank you, Lisa, for your time.
Yes, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll do it again when we actually have bookings and we know everything is open or opening up.
All right, sounds good. Well, it's nice to see your face. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you hopefully soon.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
Bye everyone.